Iran's education department in Lorestan Province has said that 4 students have been killed in the US and Israeli airstrikes, adding that 52 schools in the province have been damaged in the attacks. Major General Mathur, I was watching a few other media networks that day, and I just want to share with you and our viewers that there were sirens blazing in the background. I'm not talking about real sirens, I'm talking about that siren sound which is used for effect. And everybody is putting it out as a thriller, what's going to happen next in the coming few days. But I feel that the humanitarian aspect of the loss of lives, and there's soldiers dying on either side, every side in fact, and you, Major General Mathur, understand it better than me because you've been in the defense. And that is the reason I have so much respect for anybody in the defense forces, especially the Indian defense. This development, and I'm going to link it to the development that I just surprised our viewers of, another death, another school hit. Now, when 150 children get killed in the Minab missile attack, Trump has no answer. I've looked at that footage. He's absolutely blank on the screen. He has no answer to that question. And now, of course, this development, no answer there either. What do you have to say?
Absolutely, Vaishali. The system, always takes a refuge into calling it a collateral damage of this, that, or the other. I can guarantee you, no professional army. I've served this professional army for nearly 4 decades. No professional army will strike any civilian target without a very, very specific reasoning. In fact, Indian Army doesn't do it even with a reason. It's absolutely clear, and we showed it during Operation Sindhu. Only the terror camps were struck straight, and that was it. So, unfortunately, what is happening in Iran, and Iran supported, those proxies, Hamas. These are the people who are. I'm not justifying what they're doing, please, Vaishali, but these are the people who are making use of such places for their heavens. Because of which, so that 2 reasons. 1, they can save themselves. 2, if a strike is there on that, and if there is a collateral damage or whatever you call it, then a lot of adverse publicity will go towards them. But loss of lives, whether it is uniformed or a civilian life, is unacceptable. We should make sure that a thing like this, unilaterally started a war against Iran. I agree with what Shruti was trying to say, that Israelis also have their own rights, but that does not mean that you start doing what you're doing. I stand with their thing, and I'm a pro-Israeli gentleman. Any army officer, any Indian army fellow will be with them, because they are the ones who helped us every single time we went for a war. But the fact of the matter is, losing innocent civilian lives is not acceptable at all. So that is one thing. Second thing that I want to tell you is that people from within Iran, you know what? Our civil society does not permit any of these things to take refuge into our areas, our houses, our schools, our this one. Not one military installation or military thing is there in any of the civilian things. We make sure, even while we are defending the nation, we are in defenses, we make sure that we are so far away from these places, or even if we are forced to be at a place which is close to this, that place is vacated, so that there is no innocent casualty. But unfortunately, a thing like this in an environment, because I still will call is Iranian regime extremist regime, without a doubt. 47 years they have brought Iran from where to where, Vaishali, beyond what. Unfortunate part. Iran was first, after probably Turkey and Iran, were the first to recognize Israel. Today they say they have no right to stay. This is, and normally a revolution takes place, Vaishali, for better. The so-called Islamic revolution in Iran has brought Iran back by a couple of 100 years. They have ruined the economy. You know where the real stands against a dollar. 1.4 million reals to $1. I mean, it is mind-boggling. But the fact of the matter is, that this regime has to go, and the people within the country have to take that call. No one from outside can come and do this, but for their own good and for the good of the Middle Eastern area region and for the good of the world at large. This business of such radicalized extremist regime has to go, Vaishali.
You know, Major General Mathur, while you talk about all this, I just realized that a week prior to the war, somebody told me that, you know, Iran's a beautiful country, Vaishali, and you should go visit it for its culture, food, the people, the kind of architecture, Major General Mathur, so much is destroyed. And it's absolutely devastating to think of this, viewers. I'll come back. Now, Thailand and Vietnam have encouraged public employees to work from home and take up other energy-saving measures as the Middle East war disrupted oil supplies and sent fuel prices swinging. Thai authorities said that government workers should shift to remote work where possible and asked that government offices set their air conditioners to 26 degrees Celsius to conserve energy. It also urged officials to avoid overseas trips. In neighboring Vietnam, the government has scrapped duties on many imported petroleum products in an effort to prevent fuel shortages and stabilize the domestic market. It also encouraged companies to allow employees to work from home whenever feasible to alleviate demand for fuel. Hanoi also recommended the public limit the use of personal vehicles and instead opt for public transit, cycling or carpooling. And with that, Shruti, I'm coming to you. Started with Pakistan, came to India and now other countries as well.
It will go all over the world. This is not a boomerang that stops here. It's going to go all over the world, and soon USA will find its pinching reality, biting its consumers in the place which hurts most, that is their purse. And that is something that is which Donald Trump is trying to mitigate. I was reading somewhere that a set of investors have decided trying to get emergency barrels of fuel to flow through the market so that the current shortage that is being faced by a large number of nations, which is spiking the price per dollar, is mitigated, but that's not a long-term solution. There is, of course, we spoke about the Suez Canal route, but the problem is that most of the Middle East pipeline infrastructure, port development has happened in this Persian corridor itself, which leads to the Strait of Hormuz. So to get a similar infrastructure for those same refineries on the other side of the entire West Asia, if you look at it inside the map, to the other side would be absolutely impossible in the near future. For the next few months, so definitely not possible. So it is, though they can try, but as you can see, Haifa port has been attacked, and any other port that would be used to supply would be attacked by its non-state actors, Iran and its non-state actors in their anger. So what is the solution? The solution is that the world needs to tighten its belt and brace for what is going to come, because it is not going to come in one go. It is going to come in ripple effects. One or the other will keep on flowing through. First, for us, let's look at India right now. For it was the LPG, then it is going to come down to your fuel prices, a little bit of a spike, a little bit of up and down, and it could hurt. And then for that, then commodity prices will go up. Already we are seeing that since the 1955 or 65 Act, Commercial Act that has been invoked by Government of India, has secured LPG supplies for domestic users. So that means for anybody, the restaurant prices, the luxury prices are going to go up. They will not have as much access. So there's going to be a job loss that is going to come through that, not just lack of luxury of eating out, but people are employed by those industries. If they're not able to feed people at the same rate or earn the same amount of profits, they're going to let go of employees. So it is going to have a ripple effect on any economy, not just India. Pakistan, you've mentioned other Southeast Asian nations, they're all going to face it. What is the solution? Well, somebody would say that have Venezuelan oil flow through, but Venezuelan oil is like tar. Not everybody can process it. India can, but these processes take
Shruti,
time.
I'll have to interrupt you, but we're going to have this discussion very soon, but on a different day, at a different time. We're very short on time. But Major General Mathur, Shruti Dasgupta and Ambassador Kapoor, thank you all for joining me on the broadcast. It's been a very interesting discussion. And now moving forward, Iraq's PM al-Sudani has told U.S. Secretary of State Rubio that Iraq should not be used as a launch pad for attacks in the Middle East war. Within hours of the start of the war, fighter jets and missiles coming from every direction filled Iraq's airspace. Sudani stressed in a phone call with Rubio the importance of ensuring that Iraqi airspace, territory and waters are not used for any military action targeting neighboring countries of the region. Sudani rejected any attempt to drag the country into ongoing conflicts as well as violations of its airspace by any party. And viewers, just leaving you with this question: did you really think the war was worth it? Was this war called for? Really, I'll leave you with that thought. Thank you for watching and thank you for your time.